Okay, am I good? All right, just got a couple of odds and end things here I want to share with you this morning. The first thing, I just jotted this down just because it happened the other day, but I got contacted by Joey Holiday down in Strasburg, and then it happened, I think, at Peter Muhlenberg there at the office. But as soon as you're all well aware, like if you go to a form and anyone submits from a form, for example, like here's one I used for a workshop. Can you all access that, Debbie and Pam? Why don't you click on that and fill it in for me if you don't mind?
I'm not.
You're not? Well, Pam, won't you fill it out for me? Actually, that would give me one more answer. But anyway, in other words, they have a sign-in, sign-out sheet. So you can imagine, for example, they were up to over 10,000 sign-ins. I mean, man, you go to the high schools, it's amazing how many kids come and go nowadays. It blows my mind, especially at lunch. I mean, my God, it's like a swarm in there, to say the least. So anyway, when I go to I think I have the spreadsheet linked right here. But what happens is it always puts the replies at the bottom of the spreadsheet. So when you bring the spreadsheet up to see them, you got to scroll down, scroll down. Of course, I show them the keyboard shortcuts and all that. So anyway, I went and I found a little script, and so I put it right there. I mean, this little thing right here, don't put the quotes, but just equal query. It's just a little simple query. I love it when you find little tidbits like this, because it made Joy so happy. Mm-hmm. So another all I do is you go and make a brand new sheet. So you just go plus, just add a sheet, go over here. Then all you need to do then is just tape that, copy that, and paste it in this very first cell. And what happens then is when data comes in, Susan Pam's, you'll see hers pop in a minute. It will pop up. The most recent will pop to the top. Okay. So nice. Yeah. So that way, the top one, the most recent submission's always at the top, so it's a lot easier to see. And see Pam. See how Pam just came in? Pam's popped to the top.
Wow.
Okay. Spaghetti. Now they're having a spaghetti thing at Tripta tonight. Pam, make sure you go to that. Okay. Now you saw the replies from my daughters. Daddy, have you transferred the money yet? That's your favorite. Dad, don't forget to send money. Rhonda's, Timmy, did you get that done? So there you go. That's the most famous freaking quotes there for my family. But neat little trick. Again, all it is make a new sheet, okay? And then in this A1, as soon as you paste that in there, it will automatically put the column headings, okay? And then what will happen is all the submissions will go to the top. So it just makes you have to scroll. Because again, she was at one point at 10,000 submissions. Right. And I eventually had to make a new spreadsheet because it started to whack out and do all kinds of funky stuff.
How did you get that in there? I was typing in.
All right. So for example, in other words, what it boils down to is I would add a new sheet, like here, Pam, like here it is. And again, what you do to rename a sheet, you just double click on it and you can call it. So I can call it responses. Oops, on top. All right. And then, whoop, yeah, I already got one. So I got to make it.
Two.
Yeah, I know. I got to pick it one. Okay. And then what I need to do is I need to take this right here, not the quotes part, but this right here, highlight it to there. And I copy that. And then what I do is I go in here to the very first A1 right there. I'll paste it. See how it brings it all in?
Oh, wow.
So in other words, I have two of them now. But I'll take some one, but see, it takes all that data and just pops right in.
And so Pam is at the bottom of the original.
Yeah.
Right? Yes.
See?
Okay. So will it, as they come in, it will automatically.
Oh yeah, she just did it, Gabby. Yeah, she filled hers out. As soon as she hit submit, pow, it popped right up to the top.
Gotcha.
All right.
So Tim, on the original, if someone's in there sorting it by favorite color or anything, it does not ruin your tab.
Not that I'm aware of.
Because I'm calling it Cheryl's tab.
Because now, and this is the key right here. This is what it does is it plays off that timestamp.
Okay.
So in other words, if you have anything else, for example, I have a sheet that we use for like website approvals. Remember that, Gabby? Yes. Also, anytime we're adding something to the Chrome Web Store, in other words, it's a form. I get a notified, hey, something's been submitted, a request. What has to happen is I go in and I have to approve them. So what I do is I have a column in the front over here. I had to go ahead and have it approved right there. I tried this on that. It didn't like it because approved was the first instead of timestamp. So your first column has to say timestamp. So if I had approved on the end, I'd be okay. So just make sure your first column is that timestamp, which the default it is.
We should show no leanness.
Yeah, I need to share it with everybody now.
because. the
'Cause I know there's
people
more
that
than Joy.
comes in, sometimes they don't have the budget code, and I have to fill them in as I'm approving them. I scroll and look, and then Jen sorts them by last name, so I'm going up and down trying to find.
And we're going to show you a few keyboard shortcuts, and I put that on it for spreadsheets. I did it more that you all might be able to share some with me because I find myself going through a lot more data stuff. But that's one of the things I have here on the agenda. But cool little script. I mean, it's right. Really, it's a query, but it is a query script, and you just put it in there. Okay. Slides Carnival. I shared that with you all before. I couldn't find it on any agendas. But Slides Carnival, I just found this out when I went to a Google thing in Stanton. I was presenting that, and I had time to go to another session. And what this is free PowerPoint and Google Slide themes. And there's some very nice ones in
I
here.
need new themes.
Yes, yeah, some people need some themes really quick. So like this is so in other words, here's some different ones. But you can do all templates, but they also have formal ones. Okay. This is kind of cool. Inspirational. They always can use inspirational. This is your presentation title. But look at this. All right, let's just check it out. So I click on it. All right, it says go to preview and download. But in other words, it talks about a fully editable 25 different slides, already designed with colorful watercolor textures. And again, it works. It always has two options. You go to them. You can either do Google Slides or you can do PowerPoint. Either one. Screen layout, but you can change it to 4:3. Here you can actually see what it does. Is it actually goes through and shows you what the different slides are. I mean, it's pretty fancy stuff. All right, and then right at the bottom, see, uses Google Slides theme or download as a PowerPoint template. Always has those. If I do Google Slides, so as you know, Google Slides doesn't have as many templates as PowerPoint, so it does that. And what it does, like always, I've shown you this trick, it does the old copy trick. So you make a copy, so that way everyone has their own copy when they hit it. And what they'll do is they will put, like for example, I think that one said was 25 slides, I believe. In other words, it will bring in, I believe, all 25 slides. Obviously, you don't have to use them all, but there's usually instructions. As a matter of fact, when we looked at it when I went to that summit, it was close to Halloween, fairly close. It was in October, so she brought up a Halloween theme one. And as you go down through these, of course, you can always delete the ones you don't want, copy the ones you like. But they actually had little icons and images on some of the slides that you can copy and paste and move around. So you kind of like had, the clip art you can use all right there within all the templates. But you can see as it goes through. I mean, it lays it out there for you.
I'm so tired of using that lame orange one. Color neutral at school board meetings.
See, but I mean, it's yeah. Well, here you go. See, they got them right here. See this? See, these are all images that you can click on, copy and paste, and then use them in your presentation. See the things that are probably fit within the theme. So it's all right there on the slide. So you can just, again, delete this slide when you're finished using the little icon. So they just kind of identify icons and things like that you may want to use with that theme. So it's pretty cool. Okay, and again, that's slidescarnival.com, and the link's there on the agenda to get to it. And they're all free. This was just, I was always, of course, I get to think about Google Monthly. And they just released this app called Jamboard. I haven't got a chance to really play around with it. I showed it to Cody. He started playing around with it a lot. And it looked good for him because he has that large screen. Jamboard is actually, first of all, it's a physical product. It's actually like a big whiteboard, smart board, kind of like Dr. Mark has in his office. In other words, an interactive board really is what it is that actual physical Jamboard. And that's expensive. But just like with smart boards, they have smart notebook software. So this Jamboard has Jamboard software that you use. And what it is, it's basically like a blank drawing template. But what you can do is you can share it out with a lot of people. So you can have, multiple amount of people on this one big blank canvas doing different things and drawing on it, etc. It's a collaboration board. And a lot of times you'll see them, Google is marketing to this as something to have in a meeting room or conference board whenever you're brainstorming, etc. And just where people like to freehand draw and write, just like having a big white canvas. So that's how they're selling the thing. So anyway, Jamboard, it doesn't show up, and I'm working kind of with Cody. For some reason, it doesn't show up when you go like to here and see it. So in other words, it's not listed here. And even when you hit more, you just don't see Jamboard.
Hey, when I flipboarded it, won't let me go.
Okay. I assume obviously you're logged in because you're in your Chromebook, right? So you can't get to jamboard.google.com.
Well, it says, we are sorry, but you do not have access to this service.
Well, we turned it on. Whoa, take that back. Cody just turned it on for us at first initially. We will be turned on for you all. Good. All right, so this is what it looks like. In other words, you basically, it's pretty simple. You just open it up, and it's called a jam. In other words, obviously, you can click up here and call it, Tim's Jam. Okay, and again, what it is I can then collaborate. I can add collaborators. We can have multiple people working on this Jamboard. All right, and there's basically have these different drawing utensils. It's more for freehand, just like people that don't want to type, that type of a thing. But really, as I told you, this is something more, I think, once you do have more like these boards like Mark has, you kind of try to price what you get, where you can interact with it, then I think you might find more value in it.
So we can play tic-tac-toe.
Yeah, but what I don't like about it though, and I know they're working to improve it, but and again, this version, in other words, to me, there should be like, import an image or import something, you know what I'm saying? Like a framework, like you said, maybe it should be a tic-tac-toe board, you know what I'm saying? In other words, to me, you should be able to do more than just do it all by hand. But I mean, here you can just, this is basically a big erase, but then you do your colors, you can select here, you can do a sticky note. Okay, so, I mean, I'm just showing you it's available there because you might see Google kind of pushing this a little bit more.
Is this something that they can use in math classes?
Well, that's one thing we were thinking about too. In other words, especially because Google just released a tablet that runs on Chrome now. Because what we're hearing from our K1 people is obviously like the iPads compared to the Chromebooks, just because of the little hands trying to carry the thing around. And of course, they're used to touch. And of course, a touchscreen Chromebook costs more than a regular Chromebook. But if we figure maybe with this Chrome device, which is similar to like an iPad, where it is all touch screen, okay, this could be exactly something for doing math problems or something that could be a valuable tool, even specific for math classes or something like that. Now, we are looking, for example, the old ones, and I can see this happening sooner than later. You'll be able to get the ones where you actually flip them over. It's a duo thing where it kind of turns into a tablet. And again, just because, like you point out, Payne, just because of math, so it makes it so much easier. About anything can be a stylus on them things. You can do pens with a little soft tip on them and stuff. But I see it more like that. To me, it's like a scratch pad. I think it's more of a freehand type thing, even though you can't put like little sticky notes and stuff. But to me, it's just total freehand. But to me, I think I like that they're doing this and they're putting it out there for free because I'm hoping then they'll elaborate and add more functionality to it. So it was announced. So I just want to go ahead and show it to you. But it may eventually, I think, when we release it, it may end up showing up in that little apps thing because it is now considered a default app in Google. All right, this right here is what I shared. This kind of goes back to the thing about we talked about the spreadsheet when it comes down to forms. This is a little article. I think I already have it up here or not. No, here's the example. But here's a little thing about Google Sheet keyboard shortcuts. And some of these you may know. And again, I'm kind of sharing this because you all might be able to tell me a few more. But for example, on this spreadsheet here, if you hold down the Control key and hit the right arrow key, it automatically goes to the last bit of data in that row or column. So, for example, if you have a spreadsheet with a lot of data and you want to go down to the bottom, so that's what I was trying to. In other words, you can easily go to the spreadsheet. Okay, if you get on the top column, then you hit Control down arrow, it will go all the way down to the very last cell that has data in it. So that's one way to get down to the bottom of a spreadsheet that has a lot of data without doing all that scrolling. Okay, so it works with your Control and your right arrow, Control down arrow, up arrow, etc. That will all work. Now the other thing is sometimes, of course, you all know if you click up here, it highlights the entire spreadsheet. But the other thing is sometimes I get caught in this one. In other words, like I want to start getting data here, but then the spreadsheet is long. You might want to go all the way down to here. And again, I just have to use your imagination, a bunch of numbers down here. You got to find the last cell. Of course, if you hit Shift and click, it will select it all. But another thing you can do is if you click here and you want to get the rest of the entire sheet, if you do Control Shift, in this situation, so I'm in the top left corner, if I hit my down and right arrow at the same time, so it's Control Shift, down and right, it will hit all of it. Okay, so it's Control Shift, down right, it will, wherever you hit the upper corner, it will go all the way to the end of the data. Okay, and again, the other way is if you click on the first one, scroll all the way down to find the end, you can hold your Shift key and do the same thing. But again, if you have a lot of data, it goes down with a lot of scrolling. Once you know where you want to start, and the rest goes down and to the right, Control Shift, down and right will take care of that. And again, this just has other little keyboard shortcuts on this little article here. The other thing that you can do, if you want to see I know you can do this in Excel, I can't remember what it was, but if you do Control, it shows all the formulas. The little control in it's a little key above the little tilde key in the upper left corner. That little thing there, if you hit Control that, it shows you what the formulas are. Yeah, it shows you all the formulas. Just toggle between those two keys right there. Okay, so that's listed in this article as well. I think it's towards the bottom, I believe. But they also these, Control B, but you just right click and that stuff pops up. I don't find a lot of time saving in those. So that's kind of this. This is how they do this about their Control Shift. But like I said, you can combine those. That they don't mention them, but you combine down and right or down and up, or you can do all. So this is how you show all formulas. Control that little character right there. It's called a grave. Yeah, I'm not sure why. Okay, that was the example sheet. I noticed this past month when I've been out and I saw a couple people. They wanted to go like back in the history of a web browser. They were searching something, and let me just go to here. And you all might know this, but I'm surprised sometimes I'll see that some people don't know it at all. If I go to here, if I go to another site, let me go to SCPS. Bear with me. Release calendar. Well, in other words, I've seen sometimes people show me stuff, and what they do is they want to go back to a previous window, and you just keep clicking left to go back. And people, if all you need to do is just click and hold down this button, your mouse button, and it shows all the pages you've been to. In other words, so instead of clicking 4 or 5 times, and a lot of times people have the browser open all day, and they say, well, I've been there today, and they want to show me something, they'll click left, click. I said, people, just hold your mouse button down. It shows everywhere you've been, and all you need to do is select it, and it will take you directly to that page. So a little shortcut yeah, it is. I don't know that there. I believe I mentioned this the last time, that the contacts is no longer in Gmail. In other words, remember before how you would go over here to Gmail, and you would go over here, and you go down, and you would click, you'd find contacts. Okay, got it. So, but it's not. So now it is separate out here by its. All right, where's that? It is by itself. There it is. So now it's a separate app now. Okay, they pulled it out. So.
I see it when I go over there to the left.
Do you still using the old Gmail?
Yes, because I don't like it when it's.
Oh, there you go. That's the reason why you're old school, Cabby. You're old school.
I like being able to see my folder.
I know that. I understand it. Yeah, well, that's all going to eventually go away, the old Gmail. I don't know the exact date, but it's going.
Those folders?
No. The old Gmail is going to go away. The new form.
When it flips me to the new and it tries to like go, you're going to like this. And I'm like, no. When I do that, I don't see all that stuff on the left.
Oh, I do.
You don't see all this on that week. Are you hitting your thing right here? You got to hit your little apple, your stack. That's your pancakes.
I don't have pancakes because I'm on the old one.
All right. Well, if you're on the new one, if you go to the new one, you'll click on the pancakes. You'll have all this stuff.
Where do I go to get the new one?
All right. Go to your settings. Your little gear thingy on the right.
Okay.
See where mine says. Right. Yes. Mine says go back to the old school.
Well, it kept trying to kick me to that.
There you go.
Now I see.
There it
Okay,
is.
that's better. Thank you.
You're welcome. Because you got to.
I gotta be able to see that.
Oh, I understand. Totally understand. Yeah. So what you see, you got to see that.
I'm putting Google right now.
That hides. Now, see, they're still there. They're just little mini ones. You see, what happens is if you scroll across them, they pop open.
I see
See what I'm saying? Yeah. So in other words, you can close them down if you don't like it taking up space, and see what happens. You just scroll across, they pop open. So a lot of people don't know that.
I'm doing that.
All right. So y'all see that now? And then again, if there's something that has not been read, you'll have a little red dot on it. With me? Red dot means that something's in there that hadn't been opened. And so I have 54 emails I haven't opened in my inbox.
And you
Okay.
know, one thing I like about the new Gmail,
Uh-huh.
something so simple in my head, is I love it when it gives me that little error that shows that I have responded to.
Right. Yeah, that is also, you're right.
I love that thing.
Yeah. It tells you that you responded back to somebody.
'Cause
Like
before I
here.
have to go, "Did I
Like that means I
respond?"
did respond to Natalie. Yeah. Yeah. If you send somebody, you'll have a little error there. Yeah, you're exactly right. I love that too. I love the new Gmail. I love where it lets you finish typing the email out, finishes it for you and all that good stuff.
Something so simple.
I don't have that. And then I can scroll
All right,
down.
you go to your settings then, Deb. Look at your settings. Maybe there's something you got to turn on.
Yeah. Mine's not doing what yours
Yeah, I
does.
want mine like yours too.
What are you talking about?
When you hovered over inbox, they all were there.
What do you
Like
mean?
that, just like that. When I do that,
I think Gabby's
I only
view.
see like a little bit of that.
All right, now what view are you? All right,
Yeah, I think she's in the wrong view.
display density. I have comfortable. What do you have?
Go to com-
Try comfortable, maybe. I don't know. Does that make a difference?
No.
Not with that.
Okay. All right. My guess is go to settings then. Let's be looking settings.
Figure inbox, maybe.
Well, let me see here.
She might have conversations on
Yeah.
too.
All right. Like in other words, in my settings, you saw the settings icon again.
Yes,
In other words, if I go through here, writing suggestions is on.
I don't do that.
You see, I like that.
View is off.
All right, here we go. Hover actions. Enable hover actions.
That's what I have.
You have it turned on?
Yes.
Okay.
Right here.
Okay.
Okay. It's not that.
Smart reply.
Well, yours is as big as the screen and Gabby's is in this little box.
All right, now it's got me wondering what the heck is going on.
Yeah, 'cause I don't want
Bear with me,
my.
folks.
She got
I wanna
something
hover.
going on there.
See, so like, here it is, just like you had.
Well, it's because you're on a Chrome.
Oh,
no. And
Maybe.
then, but when I hover over that, all I see is a little bit, whereas now it's here to show.
Yeah, I want it.
Well, that's because I'll tell you why.
Is it this chat?
Because
thing?
you have the Hangouts turned on. I turn
Oh,
chat
I
off.
don't
Turn your chat off.
Okay.
Yeah. No, what happens is her chat box is blocking some of her. I have chat turned off. In other words, into settings.
Oh.
Yeah, that did the trick, right?
Well, that's always been like that. I wish I'd known that like a year ago.
Sorry, I'll do that for next Google Galore. I just cannot get them off. Yeah, but in other words, the chat. Yeah, chat. I turn that chat off.
Yay. Where's the chat?
If you go to settings, Pam, it's its own little tab to the far right. You just
Why would I not be able to switch on settings? It's grayed out. What's chat? It's
Well,
like
in other words,
It's like
it's
instant
really
messenger.
it's like
Texting.
Hangouts.
Touch the
Yeah, it's like it's kind of
I
like.
If you wanna hang out with me, you gotta come to my office. We're not hanging out together all the time.
That a little weird? And I've been sending emails and receiving them while we've been sitting here.
Oh,
Oh,
so
you've
she's
been
not
paying
paying attention. She's told on herself.
Well, I forgot that I put my phone in
Okay, I'll
Kelly's.
start every virus I know right now.
Well, she wasn't there yet, and I needed to charge my phone.
Thank you.
So I emailed her real quick and said, oh, you might have noticed my
Isn't that
phone
crazy?
is stealing your power.
Might be all these pink flowers in the background. I don't know.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah, I'm trying to refresh right now. I think it's just like
I think it's just
chugging.
going well.
Yeah, you might have to.
Well, it took me forever for my drive.
Yeah, I think it's just something bad to do. I'm trying to refresh right now. It's just turning like
I
crazy.
think I need to.
Is this mine?
Yes, it's the weather.
It's something's going on.
That's it.
Something's going on with it.
Now,
All right,
Gabby is.
has everyone's personal needs been met?
Personal needs, yes.
Yay.
All the personal needs been met. That's fine. That's cool. All right, so where were we? Contacts. Yes. All right, so that's all right. In other words, the contacts, notice it looks like the old contacts. It's no really big deal to it. But the question came up, like, for example, Tracy, when the contacts moved out, she used to have access to Mark Johnson's contacts, and all of a sudden she didn't have access to them anymore. Because she was, of course, looking for them in Gmail. And so now we have to go to contacts. So if you look at your More menu, you have the manage delegation settings. So you can still do that. You can share your contacts with somebody else. So if I click on that, See, basically, you just put in the person's name, okay? Like Cody, I gave him access to mine because we were experimenting with it once they changed it. So you can put in a person's email address. They can either edit, and basically that's the default right there now. I don't think there's any option. Basically, they can have access to their contacts again. Okay, so if you want to share, you can do that. Other than that, I mean, it still looks the same. Of course, you all can. You scroll down, you can make groups and all that stuff. And I always make groups, people. Like I make them for my classes I teach, in other words, etc. But don't forget the little shortcut that I showed you, and I'm sure you've not forgotten it. That when you're in here, and if you add, different email addresses. The fastest keyboard. In other words, I want to make these three a group. Remember, all you got to do is click on 2. Remember, and you can just save them as a group. Don't forget that shortcut.
I did forget that.
Yeah, I mean that's the first thing I do at the beginning of a school. Did you see that, Pam? All right. So in other words, then you can just. So in other words, I always do it at the beginning of the year. In other words, like a new teachers or something like that. New people come into here or whatever. So if I have a group I got to deal with, I compose that first email. I just make a mental note that hey, I got to say this is a group this year. I usually put like 18, 19 or something like that. And then what I'm bad about, and that's the reason we're going to do this in December, is then getting rid of the old ones. You'll see some old ones I haven't. But basically all it is once it identifies the 3 here, but you can also search for more of them and add to them. But usually I have them all named. That's it, save as group, and then I can name it whatever I want to name it and save it. So just that to me is a whole lot quicker than going into contacts, and that's a pain to me. So just do that little 2 shortcut, people. It makes your life so much easier. Okay. And here's also about contact support. I put that thing in there about too. Remember, it was about 2 or 3 years ago. I showed you about the Honey app, Honey extension, about how you can help get coupon. This is one I just heard about. It's called Price Blank. Okay, and it's an extension, and I have it up here. And the way this thing works is it shows you coupons, but also what it does, it kind of goes out and looks at other sites to see if it can find a better price for you. And it got good ratings, and also got good ratings on the trust site. So let's say I go in and do early Black Friday deals, maybe. I don't know. Let's see if I can find an item. I'm going to find one of them freaking air things that you all air fryer. Let's look up an air fryer.
The hottest thing now.
The hottest thing in the world is air fryers. All I know is that bacon smelled good and everything. All right, so in other words, let's say I go into this one right here. Well, now let's get a better one than that one. Let's go with this one here. All right, so if I click on this, okay, and this specific item here, and I haven't run it on this machine, but so this is the price blank, and see I haven't set up on my other one here, so there's a wish list, but it should just pop open right now. See, that's where you put it on there. I don't know why it didn't automatically do it for me because it is turned. But what happens is when it turns on, and again, I know I don't think it's a suggested coupon search. Let's see if I do the wish list. But once I enable it on the browser and the other, what it does, it actually brings up a little yellow bar. See, I don't want that either. When you're on the website, what it does, it basically brings up a little yellow bar, and it says, okay, this shows the item, okay, and then what it does is it will let us, hey, I found this item on 4 other websites, and then what it'll do then, it was a drop down arrow, and then it will say eBay, Walmart, Target, whatever, and it compares the prices for you. And then what it also allows you to do then, and again I have it on my personal there, is it will allow you then, if you want to, and let's say the price of it's $275. You can put in your target price at $250, and what it does is you put that in there, and what it does, it will email you, because it will ask you just put your email. It will email you when the price changes, when it meets your target price, whatever like that. But it just kind of saves you a little bit of time of going out and looking at other different sites. Okay, but the other thing does it also when it looks at it, I don't know if it does quite as well as Honey, but see where it says suggest a coupon for this merchant. And as it goes through there, and what it does is you can search coupon codes, whatever, for items as well. Like when I was on Target site, it tells you, of course, you get 5% off if you use your card. It gives you any tips or anything like that when it comes down to how you might be able to save some dollars. Like here, $10 off your first Prime Now purchase. If you go to the Prime account, you get $10 off. Don't miss an Amazon coupon. So just a little tricks. That's the one I heard most about this shopping season is this price blank. Okay, and again, I'm not sure why it's popping up in one in my office. They said as soon as I go to an item, it pops that little yellow bar up there, but it's not popping up here. If I thought if I double clicked, it would show up there. So you can also do a wish list if you want. You can like add items to your wish list and that, et cetera, there, but you got to sign in with your account before you can do it. So check it out if you think you might be interested. I still like honey, but people like us, I've told a million people, just go to a new tab and always just search for coupons whenever you're on a website and you're buying something. Because you'll be surprised how many times you'll find a coupon out there just Googling for the site that you're purchasing from. I guarantee I find something out of at least 50% of the time. Save money, 50% of the time.
That reminds me of something I heard on the news this morning. It was just an app, but it was called Brandify.
Brandify. Okay.
And it has the ability to compare a name brand with store brands so that if you see a product you like, maybe it's Lay's potato chips or whatever, and you scan it, it will tell you comparable store brands that are really the same thing, just less expensive.
Oh, pretty cool.
Gosh, that'd be great with medicine. Like,
Oh, yeah, you're right. Generic. And yeah, that's a good point.
It's
Yeah.
the exact same, like the
Yeah.
ingredients are the same, it's just got a different label on it.
Yeah, like the vitamins and all that stuff too.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, you're paying for all that. All right, our next Galore session is December 11th. That's when I kind of have set up for the whole like morning thing, do different sessions. One thing we're definitely going to do, and I'll be honest with you, this is for selfish reasons, is I need to clean my drive up in my Gmail and just like I have all those things on the left labels I got old. So we're gonna have a nice clean up drive Gmail session. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set up a hot chocolate station with hot chocolate. I'm gonna have mini marshmallows and I'm gonna have holiday cookies. And we're gonna freaking do it, and we're gonna do it up. So in other words, if we're gonna do that, I don't know how long it's gonna last, but in other words, that way you can come in and just anything when it comes to cleaning up your drive or doing anything like that, it just satisfies just to do it. You know what I'm saying? It just gives you set aside time, you do it. Like I said, I just need to do it so bad. So that's what we're gonna do on December 11th. So we're gonna have a nice little drive Gmail organization cleanup session. I'll have hot chocolate station set up with some holiday cookies, and we'll do it up.
All
Everybody
right.
good? All right, thank y'all.
I have an announcement.